Imagine writing a novel. That becomes the #1 bestseller in America overnight. Sounds like every author's dream.
The perfect murder.
Until 48 hours later, the FBI knocks on your door. Not because your book is a masterpiece, but because every murder in your story matches the disappearance of a real young woman. Every detail,
He must have known.
every clue, every mistake. The police don't believe you wrote a novel. They believe you wrote a confession. And by the time they reached the final chapter, it was already too late. 10 years ago, his name dominated every bestseller list in America. Readers stood in line for hours just to buy his newest novel. Critics called him the master of crime fiction. Hollywood producers competed for the rights to his stories. For a while, Arthur believed the success would never end. But success has a cruel habit. It never tells you when it's about to leave. One disappointing novel became 2, then 3. Within 5 years, his readers disappeared. His royalties dried up. His savings were almost gone. The luxurious apartment that once symbolized success now felt like a prison. Every morning began the same way. An empty page, a cold cup of coffee, and another failed attempt to write. Then, everything changed with a single phone call. His publisher didn't waste time. Arthur, we've stood by you for 5 years.
Goodbye.
But we can't keep losing money. You have 30 days. Deliver your next manuscript, or this will be the last book deal of your career. The call ended. The apartment fell silent. Arthur stared at the blinking cursor on his laptop. 30 days. One final chance. One last story to save everything. For 29 days, Arthur couldn't write a single page. Every idea died before it reached the paper. His deadline was only hours away. His career was finished. Late that night, desperate for inspiration, he searched through old drawers filled with forgotten notebooks and unfinished stories. Then, hidden beneath a pile of dusty papers, he found an old black diary. No title, no author's name. Curious, Arthur opened the first page. Within seconds, his heartbeat stopped. It wasn't a diary. It was the detailed account of the perfect murder. And before the sun came up, Arthur had made the biggest mistake of his life. By sunrise, Arthur had rewritten the diary as his own novel. He gave it a new title, The Perfect Murder. 3 days later, the manuscript landed on his publisher's desk. They read it in a single night. 1 week later, the book was released. No one expected what happened next. Within 24 hours, it became the #1 bestseller in America. Bookstores sold out. Social media exploded. Critics called it the most realistic crime novel ever written. Arthur finally had everything back. The money, the fame, the spotlight. Until
Open up.
48 hours later, someone knocked on his door. It wasn't another fan. It was the FBI. 48 hours later, the FBI arrived at Arthur's apartment, not to celebrate his success, but to investigate a cold case. 3 years earlier, a young woman named Emma Carter had vanished without a trace. The agents placed Arthur's novel beside Emma's case file. The similarities were disturbing. The victim, the timeline, even details that had never been released to the public. Arthur never lost his composure. He claimed it was fiction, nothing more.
Is this your work?
But the FBI didn't believe him. Within hours, the investigation became national news. America was divided. Some called Arthur a genius. Others believed his novel wasn't fiction. It was a confession. Then investigators found one sentence hidden inside the book.
Seems to be the
A
key.
sentence
Let me
that
see
changed everything.
I think you're right.
The sentence was simple, yet deeply unsettling.
The body was hidden, where thousands of people walk every day, but no one ever looks beneath their feet.
Within hours, FBI search teams spread across the city. Parks, subway stations, public squares. Every location mentioned in Arthur's novel was carefully investigated. Nothing. No evidence. No body. Arthur watched the investigation unfold from the comfort of a television studio. He smiled confidently. If the FBI is searching for a fictional killer, they're wasting taxpayer money. The audience laughed, but the investigators didn't stop because they believed the answer wasn't hidden in Arthur's interviews. It was hidden inside the final chapter of his novel. And when they finally understood what that chapter really meant, everything changed. The final chapter led investigators to Arthur's old high school. Beneath an old oak tree, the FBI uncovered a small metal time capsule. Inside, they found Emma's necklace, a faded photograph, and a worn black diary. Forensic experts examined every page. The handwriting didn't belong to Arthur. It belonged to his paralyzed wife, Eleanor. Within hours, FBI agents arrived at Arthur's apartment. They walked straight toward Eleanor's bedroom. Arthur rushed to stop them. "What are you doing? You've got the wrong person. My wife can't even leave her bed. How could she possibly kill anyone? And if she really did, why would I write a novel about it?" No one answered. The room fell silent. Arthur slowly turned toward Eleanor. She looked into his eyes and smiled. Was Eleanor really the killer? If she was paralyzed, how could she possibly commit the perfect murder? Why did she smile? And the biggest question of all, did Arthur truly know nothing? The answers are buried deeper than anyone imagined. Subscribe to Bleeding Secret and join us in the next episode, because this case is far from over.